The UFC social media team for Brazil messed up. They tweeted and deleted quickly that Max Holloway will be taking on Charles Oliveira, UFC 324, January 24th in Las Vegas. First Paramount card, and it will be for the BMF title. They fought in 2015. Max Holloway won by first round TKO. That was at featherweight. Now they're at lightweight. People like the idea of this fight. It would be a fun fight. UFC 324 is already stacked. This, if it was added to that card, would be a third title fight on the card. You got Patty Gaethje for the interim belt. You also got Nunes Harrison for the bantamweight belt. Having this fight strategically could be good for the UFC on this card, because if somebody falls out of that main event, you could throw one of these guys in the lightweight interim title fight as a contingency plan. If they did add that fight to the card, that's 3 title fights, plus O'Malley, Yadong, Umar, Figueiredo, Cortez Acosta, Lewis, Allen, Silva, Grasso, Namajunas, and Gautier Pulev. So if Oliveira versus Holloway was added, that'd be 9 fights thus far on the card, and a total of 16 ranked fighters or champions on the card so far. And they would add like 3 more fights to it as well. Since there was some complaints about Arman being snubbed from the interim title fight, maybe this will make people forget about it, because 3 UFC fights that are title fights on a UFC card is quite unique, and it's looking like a really great card so far to kick off the Paramount deal. Another fight, which is expected to be at UFC 324, is a light heavyweight contest between Nikita Krylov and Modestas Bukauskas. Krylov got knocked out a couple times this year, whereas Modestas Bukauskas won a couple times via KO this year and also had a decision win in there. Bukauskas is unranked, so he's looking to break into the rankings if he can beat number 13 ranked Nikita Krylov. Only other fight scheduled amongst ranked fighters in the light heavyweight division is next week. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Guskov 11, Blachowicz 5. Huge opportunity for Guskov to potentially break into the top 5 if he can get the win. Guskov riding high right now in a 4-fight win streak. All of those are finishes. Blachowicz, on the other hand, winless in his last 3. Hasn't won since 2022. That being said, he's fighting the toughest competition in the division, and a couple of those fights could have gone either way. Split draw with Ankalaev, split decision loss with Pereira. Blachowicz versus Guskov kicks off the main card next week, UFC 322. You got Merab, Yan, Van, Pantoja, Moreno, Tyra, Cejudo, Talbot, also on the card. I'll go with Merab, Van, Moreno, Cejudo, Blachowicz. Some underdog picks in there, so not too basic. Trump won't be at the event. Neither will Elam. It's not big enough for them, so this is free money, most likely. Not much free money, but free money. Trump won't be there, Elon won't be there, and Elon won't be at December 13th Apex show, so he won't be going to any 2026 events. Dean Thomas thinks Alex Volkanovski has nothing to gain from fighting Diego Lopez again, because if he wins, he beat a guy he just beat a few months back. And there's also a couple other contenders he didn't fight. If he loses, Dean thinks he probably retires. If he wins, he might retire too. As far as the first fight goes, the scores were all over the place. It was a hard fight to score definitively. Even the 2 judges who scored at 49-46 differed in which rounds they gave Volk. One thing, though, that was consistent across the board, every judge gave Volk round 1, round 3, and round 5. So they believe Volk won a round, lost a round, won a round, lost a round, and then won the final round.
Ilya or Patty? I mean, the fight not happening. It's Justin or Patty now. Patty got to get past Justin. Justin's a tough fight, bro. I don't know. A lot of people sleeping on Justin on the Patty fight, which just makes me ridiculous.
Petr Yan says he's looking to get an early knockout against Merab Dvalishvili. Merab's never been knocked out. Yan isn't really a fast starter. He takes a round and a half to analyze data before getting going. Out of his 10 wins, 7 are decisions. He had a 5th round knockout against Aldo, so sometimes he can push a pace later in a fight and get a KO, but that strategy will never work against a guy like Merab, who's fighting in round 5 at the speed and pace he fought in round 1. If Yan pulls off a KO, that would be highly impressive. If he won a decision, that'd be pretty insane too.
Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? like.
I know that's right. Look out, make way, tear up, don't play, cut it off, grow back, throw it back. Home in the stands, tell me who can send it like that.
Only casuals cry about matchups, then don't watch the fights anyway. Hardcore fans watch all the fights without crying. I think there's a decent amount of hardcore fans who cry about the fights, but watch all of them anyway because they're hardcore fans. Patty would very well sub Gaethje. Fast food MMA, we eat better than this. Diego, exciting, active, popular. Don't know why people are upset. Murphy got 1 exciting finish. Before that, he was running away from opponents. Boring fights, personality, dull. Mozart barely fights once a year.
Okay. How are you? I'm Al. I'm with the Long Island IQ. Why do you look familiar? You watch the UFC? Yeah. Okay.
Lopez is getting the next shot. Again, he is being allowed to get a rematch with Volkanovski, a guy who just beat him. I'm not mad at it for Diego Lopez. If it was a close fight, I can get it. But you just lost. You did beat a guy who I don't even think was ranked top 10.
Mauricio Rufy and Alex Volkanovski training with each other. Moicano may be fighting Rufy early next year.
Russian government, please allow me to come in your country. I would love to come to Dagestan and practice with my favorite UFC fighters, Islam and Khabib. Please.
Conor McGregor went this week from being healed and saved in Mexico to ranting and raving a day later against Khabib, saying stuff like father's plan is now father's scam, but he likes Islam Makhachev. On the other side of this, it was great to see Islam Makhachev honor his father by putting the 2 double world titles on his shoulder, saying there are not many fathers of double world champions. Truth.
And I still laugh at people saying, I get stopped in the street, people saying to me, is there a script? I'm like, yeah, there is a script. It's we go out and knock this guy clean out for boxing, and then we move on for a massive 2026. That's the only script from our side. This is a real fight. This is a sanctioned contest. This is a fight where people can put bets on. It is completely illegal to have any kind of agreement of how the fight should play out. And we would never be as involved. That's why we would never have an exhibition in this respect. This is a fight. If you want to fight Anthony Joshua, if you've got this grand delusion that you are this guy that could beat this former 2-time world heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist, and he's, as Jake Paul said, he's chin's gone, he's a stiff fighter with bad movement, then we have a real fight. And fair play to Jake Paul, he's signed up for a real fight. But very quickly, on December 19th, he is going to realise, once that bell goes, within less than a minute of that fight, he is going to think to himself, what on earth have I done here? And more importantly, what am I going to do?
Michael Chandler wants there to be a White House belt on the line if he fights Conor at the White House. Lorenz Larkin, former UFC fighter, competing at a catchweight bout at 190 pounds at KC 58 Miami, which is headlined by Sam Alvey versus Robles de Spain. Rampage Jackson was surprised at his own UFC record.
Oh, you say 9-7? 9-7? No way. No, that's not. No, that's not.
Let's make sure it's
9-7? 9-7? Wikipedia in UFC. No way I was 9-7. That's a shitty record.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you want to support the channel and donate via Super Thanks, you can. There's also a link on the main page. Until next time, thank you for watching.